Hello again, this is Steve for LessonsOnlineTV, and this is the lesson where I will try to teach you the two most common verbs, I think, in Greek and in any language, to be and to have. So let's start off by actually writing it down in English, just for reference. Let's actually write everything. He, she, it, we, you, they, right? These are the personal pronouns. This is what they are actually called, like if you look it up. So in Greek, to translate these, let's actually have this like English, Greek. This is εγώ. Εγώ, I. Now these, I'm going to write these. These never change. This is like a reference that you should have in mind. There are no exceptions to this. Okay? Εγώ, εσύ. This is just the spelling, but I'm going to write like transcript. Okay? Transcript. Maybe you're not so used to the Greek alphabet yet, so I'm going to write them both down. Εσύ. Αυτός. Now, usually because it's a long thing to write, this actually behaves like a noun, and these are the suffixes of nouns. We write this, I, O. It means αυτός, αυτή, αυτό. But I can't write all that in that space, so just keep this in mind. Εμείς. Εσείς, αυτοί, and αυτοί is they, but they, when you're talking about something masculine or feminine, there is like a grammatical gender in Greek. And there is also αυτά, which is in the case of something like items, a neutral thing. It, the plural of it, that's kind of this thing. And this is εγώ, there is no actual way of writing εσύ, αυτός, like αυτός, αυτή, αυτό, okay? Εμείς, εσείς, αυτοί. Now, you might notice that these look different but are pronounced the same. But it's no biggie. You can actually say them. Nobody's going to get confused just because when you use the verb, now these are just the pronouns, you will see the suffix of the verb that is going to be different. Let's move on to the verbs now. Okay, I'm just going to delete the transcript so I have space. Erase, not delete. Yeah. So you have to have, right? And it's I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, you have, they have. This is like everything's have except for this one. This is not the case in Greek. It's εγώ, έχω. This is like exactly έχω, and this is the suffix that I'm talking about. Let me write the whole column and I'll tell you. Εσύ έχεις. Αυτός έχει. Εμείς έχουμε. Εσείς έχετε. Αυτοί έχουν. So that's exactly what I was saying about the suffixes. This is the suffix. Like you have this that we call the subject, like we call it thema. It's like the root of this word. You take this and you add suffixes, prefixes, and whatever, and new words come up. You come up with new words. So this is a suffix. O, is, I. So έχω, έχεις, έχει, έχουμε, έχετε, έχουν. This is exactly the reason that you cannot mess up this αυτή and this αυτή, because the verb is different. Now, just for reference, this is a general rule. It's not just for reference, actually. This is like, you do this every day. You don't need these. You can actually cross them out. I'm not going to do that because it's good if you actually say it. There is nothing wrong with doing that. But it's, how do you say, you don't need to say any of these because the suffixes actually contain this. Like, when you see this, you automatically know that this is what you're talking about. They have. It's like it's integrated in the suffix. Who is speaking is in the suffix. So you don't need any of these, actually. Έχω, έχεις, έχει, έχουμε, έχετε, έχουν. This is present, okay? Like I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, you have, they have. But, as you can see, everything is different. This is like, all of these are the same, except for this one. And these are all different, but only it's the suffix. It's only the suffix that you need to know. Now let's go on to be, which is somewhat, like, harder. I don't think it's even going to fit here. And I have a lot of space, so let me extend this. Okay, in English you have I am, you are, he, she, it is, we, you, they are. Yeah, we are, you are, they are. Now, in a similar manner, like to be is called im. In modern Greek, we don't refer to verbs with their infinitive. This is what we call an infinitive in English, right? And this is the whole thing is an infinitive. This is the bare infinitive. In Greek, we don't really have an infinitive anymore. It used to exist in ancient Greek. It doesn't exist now. So we usually refer to verbs like in the singular, first person, present tense, like the simplest form available. So in Greek, the verb to be is called είμαι, I am. It's written like that, so you can understand how spelling is like precious here, is really valuable. Είμαι, right? You are, είσαι, he, she, it is, αυτό, αυτός, αυτή, είναι, εμείς, είμαστε, εσείς, είσαστε, αυτοί, είναι. Now you see that this is the same with this. And these are indeed pronounced the same. But it all depends on the context. I mean, actually understanding what is said by the context happens in English too a lot. Because there are a lot of words that have a lot of meanings. But it's really hard to actually mess this up if you have a whole sentence. Now, yeah, okay, it seems kind of weird that they are exactly the same. But it's not worse than this. Like, you have, okay? So, if you don't get messed up with this, you can't really get messed up with these two. There is an alternative form for this, είστε. I don't recommend it for, like, beginner purposes. We usually speak like this, like, είστε. But we usually say this. But I don't recommend it. Maybe this has more consistency, because you will see, for each person speaking, that's like first person, second person, third person. Yeah, I think you say that in English too. We have this thing is what is different. And it's almost the same. For example, I am, εγώ είμαι, and it has a me. This has sigma, this has ni. And we, είμαστε, this has me, this has sigma, this has ni. Okay, so it's exactly the same philosophy, it's irregular, because it doesn't really follow an exact pattern like this. You just take the stem and add something to the end. You actually need to learn this by heart. Actually both, but this is like harder. So just memorize it. There's not so much to it. I'm going to say it once or twice. Once, okay? Once each verb. Εγώ έχω, εσύ έχεις, αυτός έχει, εμείς έχουμε, εσείς έχετε, αυτοί έχουν. Εγώ είμαι, εσύ είσαι, αυτός, αυτή, αυτό είναι, εμείς είμαστε, εσείς είσαστε, αυτοί είναι. Okay, so this is like core. This is like a very specific part, you need to know this. There is no chance that you can actually have a chat without using these two verbs, at least one of them. For example, I am okay, I feel, I have a headache, I don't know, anything. You can say anything. And with have, you're actually going to form other tenses afterwards. Like, tenses, I mean, I did things in a different time. Like, I have done, I had been, I will have done. These three tenses exist. Like, I will, I have, I had, I will have. These exist in Greek, and they have exactly the same principle as English, but it differs. Like, we don't use a participle. Like, I have done. Done is a participle, okay? But in Greek, we don't use that. It's a bit, like, more complex. But that's just about it. The whole philosophy behind it is the same. So this is, like, all you need. You now know how to say I have and how to say I am. Είμαι, είσαι, είναι, είμαστε, είσαστε, είμαι. And I'm not going to write the transcript for this. There is no space. But έχω, έχεις, έχει, έχουμε, έχετε, έχουν. So this is it. This is to have and to be. And I'll see you in the next video where I will try to teach you the basic numbers. Numbers, well, you're going to need numbers anywhere, like all the time. So I'm going to try to teach you like the basic numbers from 1 to 10, 10 to 20, and because there is a pattern, you need to follow a pattern, 20 to 30, and it's the same thing up to 90, and then you get to 100. I'm not going to tell you how to count 110 and so on, but it's not difficult. I'm probably going to make a follow-up video of that. And just 1,000 for reference. So I'll see you in the next video with the numbers and all.